green tea? Possible?
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching the big Bollywood Face-Off. We've been having youngsters face off, we've had senior politicians face off, cutting across the political divide. It's now time for the big Bollywood Face-Off. Joining us on this special broadcast, this special debate, I want to introduce first Vivek Oberoi, whom I last met in Varanasi in the middle of the campaign for the Uttar Pradesh elections. He was at that time canvassing for the Bharatiya Janata Party. He is now coming out with a new film, a biopic on Prime Minister Modi. Multiple charges being flung his way on the issue of whether this is a propaganda vehicle for the Prime Minister and the BJP. We'll put some of those questions to him. Squaring off against him, well-known face on television, actress Nagma, politician of the Congress Party. Welcome to the both of you. And welcome to the big Bollywood Face-Off. I want to take question number one on the showdown on this India Today debate. Question number one, is Vivek Oberoi's new film, the biopic on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a propaganda vehicle for the BJP and the Modi Sarkar? That's the first question, and I want to put that question first to Vivek Oberoi. Is your film, sir, a propaganda vehicle for the Modi Sarkar, coming as it does just days before the first phase of polling? You couldn't have timed it better. People have a Diwali release, they have an Eid release. Salman Khan is famous for that. Vivek Oberoi has an election release. Come at the election and come Vivek's movie.
Wow, I like the way you position it. Thank you, Rahul. No, in absolute clarity and clear terms, it is not a propaganda film in any way. It is not a surrogate advertising kind of film. I'm experiencing now what I think the Prime Minister has been experiencing over the last 5 years: baseless allegations. Aarop pe aarop, lekin saboot kahin nahi. There's no proof. We've been, subjected to all kinds of grind to say that, okay, show us financial evidence, show us paper trails, show us everything. And we've presented everything in absolute clarity to the commissions, to the panels that have asked us, to the courts that have asked us, and we've come through. Nyayalaya ko problem nahi hai. The judiciary doesn't have an issue. The election commission doesn't have an issue. The constitution provides me a sovereign right to release my film, and yet there are people attacking. There are major grand parties who I would assume have much more important things to do before an election, coming on and attacking my little film.
That's an important point you make, that days ahead of the elections, when there's a lot of campaigning to do, Nagma, why is your party and your top legal eagles running to courts, running to the election commission, saying they want Vivek's movie banned? Don't you have campaigning and canvassing to do? Why are you wasting time? You do your job, let him do his.
That's a fair question, Rahul, and I think that it's very important to understand that we live in a democratic country. People have the right to vote, thinking about what they should be doing, how they should be doing, and they have the freedom of expression. Of course, we always spoken about that. But having said that, I think these kind of movies coming right at the time of elections, on one hand you see a movie like this coming and the EC wants it to, is saying nothing about it. But on the other hand, you see that a book on Rafael, which is going to be coming out, or which it was coming out, has been burnt. All the copies of it have been
they
burnt.
Went and confiscated the copies.
Correct.
So that's an important point that you make, Vivek Oberoi, even though it's now clarified.
I haven't finished.
Yes. Oh, you want to finish? Yes.
I haven't finished. I mean, hero worship is not something that our country really needs at this moment. I mean, the marginalized are really oppressed. People are, we don't need hero worship. What we need is reality. If we speak about reality, they compare a Balakot to Bangladesh. What I'm trying to say is that's sheer exaggeration, because nobody even knows what happened in Balakot. There is a clouded kind of a, scenario of Balakot around us as yet. We don't have the answers to it still. So therefore comparing it to something is simply not fair, because it's a very vague and an opaque picture at the moment. Apart from that, if you see what Rajiv Gandhi ji did to the Tamilians who were, for the Tamilians who were situated in Sri Lanka at that point in time, he sent the peace force, or the army peace force went there, but he never took credit. He lost his life for that. He never said, "Ye meri sena hai." So it's like Sena is sabki Sena. It is not that Andh Bhakt or Sena. Don't bring nationalism into democratic voting? If you have worked
Why
for the
fight
5
elections
years,
on nationalism?
correct. Why fight election on nationalism? Why not on the work that you've done in the past 5 years?
So you're accusing Vivek Oberoi of hero worship,
Sure.
Andhbhakti, blind, you're a bhakt. Are you a bhakt,
I mean,
Vivek?
bhakt.
Sure. So I'd like to actually refute all those points. So I think
He sure
I
does.
think the party that she represents would rather not have hero worship but have the worship of a last name, which is what's been going on for the last 7 decades. I think they're not talking about, say, the realities of Balakot and stripping the credibility of heroes that this country needs, like Wing Commander Abhinandan. And today the doublespeak is ridiculous. You're talking about removing the sedition law, where somebody can stand in my country, burn the Tiranga, can say Bharat tere tukde honge, Hindustan murdabad, can say that, but at the same time you're saying I can't release my film. So is that okay? It's okay to have an anti-sedition law being ripped apart and say, no, gali do desh ko, isi desh mein khao piyo raho, isi desh ko gali do. But Vivek Oberoi ki film release, kyunki wo galat hai.
Isn't that freedom of speech?
And what is this then? What
I'd
is the
like
double
to
talk on
say,
your freedom of expression and speech?
I'd like to say that I'm also the All India, General Secretary for the Women's Wing. I am in charge of Jammu and Kashmir, and I exactly know what's been happening there. I mean, why take credit of something like surgical strikes? I mean, that is something that the governments have been always doing.
And
the Sena has been always protecting our borders. It's nothing new. There's nothing heroic about it.
You don't want them to take credit for the surgical strikes, but you want to take credit for shutting a film down.
No, the credit goes to the army. The credit
And
goes to the army.
those are the saviors of democracy who shut a film down.
Army for whatever
Doing
happens
such a
on
great
the
job.
borders.
But
They protect.
Vivek, you need
But
to
your
respond to
flip-flop
Nagma's
policy
point
for
that we've
Pakistan
seen
and,
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath go out and say in a campaign that Modi ki Sena ne ye kiya.
Sure.
You know, the
So
point that
that is
Nagma
the
makes
point.
is, why should this be called Prime Minister Modi's army? This is India's army.
I mean, and why nationalism?
It's not his army, it's my army, it's your
It
army,
is my
it's
army
everybody's
too.
army.
It is my
yes,
army
it
too.
is your
It is
army
our
and
country's
it is
army.
your army who you are doubting
Also,
whether actually went in and did the job that they
Nobody's
claimed they
doubting
did. It is your
anybody.
army that's saying
This
that,
is
oh,
not
maybe
the
we should pull
first
them out
time.
of Kashmir at a time where our men are giving their lives fighting and killing those damn terrorists that need to be neutralized. We are undermining our own voice, saying, oh, the minute we come into power, we'll pull the army out, we'll reduce the numbers. That's how you boast the morale of our army, who's fighting there, giving up their lives.
the
Real
CAG
families losing, real heroes who really fought for this country.
I like the fervor he's talking
It's
with.
rubbish.
Because
It's
he
rubbish.
thinks he's yet in front of the camera and
No,
he's
it's not about
performing a
that.
scene.
Look,
but
I'm
what
not a
I'm trying to
politician.
say is, the CAJ report
I'm not a
said
politician.
very clearly that our army did not have the guns, did not have the ammunition, did not have it for the longest time. And now you're providing, Rafale is a very big scam which is happening, and it is still to unreveal. What has happened is the files are missing. Everybody knows about it. Come on,
Rafale
let's
is
not
as much a
joke about
scam
it.
as
Why are the
my
files
film
missing
being
and where are
funded
they missing?
by the BJP.
And why
So
why
this
is
is the
it
kind
missing?
of
So who funds your
propaganda
film?
rubbish.
Who's funding your film?
missing?
Aside from the fact that I'm not obliged to
I mean,
show
the
Rahul
army, we are indebted to the army.
the
Are you
funding of
insulting
my
the
film,
martyrs of
but I have presented it to the Election Commission in thorough detail for thorough inspection and come through with clean flying colors.
But there was a story in the
Yet
Indian
they go
Indian
on
Express which said that
continuously saying
Who goes
it's
on?
being
I mean,
funded.
it's very clear that the files
people
are missing,
who are
right?
funding the
Everybody knows
film
about it.
are people who are closely associated with the BJP and have done multiple projects
I
with the
don't
BJP
belong
in
to
the
the
past.
BJP, I belong to India.
Really?
जो देश के लिए
Everybody
अच्छा है,
knows
वो
how
मेरे
much
लिए
he
अच्छा है.
propagates for
But
the
you do
BJP.
belong to the BJP.
I don't belong
Of course
to
he
the
does
You've
belong
campaigned
to
for the BJP
I
in the past.
have
Yes.
campaigned for the BJP, but I don't belong to the BJP.
Yeah, but
I
he's
subscribe
been
to
very
what the Prime Minister has done
vociferously speaking.
because I believe in the man. I believe that he's a true hero, he's the need of the hour for this country, and he's doing what he's doing, and he's done a great job over the last 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
Like what? Can you state? Whether he's done for which sector, which
You know, the
community
tragedy
has he
of it
done?
all
Whether
is-
he's done for women, whether he's done Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao,
The
what
tragedy
have
of
we
it all
done?
is
We
that
talk
you're so
statistics.
busy
It's
trying
not-
to find
it's not about
mistakes
films,
that
it's
you
about
don't see
statistics.
what has happened, that the world can see
No, no.
what he's done for this country. You don't
Well,
see
we had
that.
Chhattisgarh, we had Madhya Pradesh, we had Rajasthan recently, and we won. We won that. We won that because we
Great,
took
congratulations
issues.
to you.
We took issues on the ground.
All I know is
Apart
that you
from
lost.
That, Rahul
All I
ji
know is
went
that you lost
to
in
Gujarat
Bombay High Court, you
and
lost
showed
in Delhi High Court trying to fight a film.
Where
If
are
you're
the
so confident about your work,
where are the-
if you're on such a political high, Why are you sending the biggest
Because
legendary
why are
lawyers
we
in the country like Kapil Sibal, Abhishek Manu Singhvi? I'm sure they have more important things to do. To go and fight me
Yes,
and then threatening to take it to the Supreme Court. If you're so confident that आपका काम अच्छा है, आप चौकीदार के डंडे से नहीं डर रहे हैं, तो चौकीदार की फिल्म आ रही है, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम?
वो चौकीदार के नीचे नीरव मोदी भाग गया, मेहुल चोकसी भाग गया, विजय माल्या भाग गया, ये सारे लोग भाग गए.
It's okay to talk against the country.
I mean,
their free speech should be upheld. But I can't make a film in this free country.
But there can't be Vivek Oberoi surreptitious advertising. I'll tell you why. There is a bar on opinion polls and campaigning 48 hours before the poll actually happens, right? However, if there's a film that's playing and that film lionizes the Prime Minister, talks highly of what he's done, and you're already saying that you think highly of what he's done, then that film continues. So does that then not constitute surreptitious advertising?
Are you saying 48 hours is the only period in which a person can be influenced? Are you saying that Rahul Kanwal, who runs a show, an opinion-making show, an opinion maker like Rahul Kanwal, or somebody like Nagma, who's a spokesperson, cannot go out on television and influence people's opinion?
I'm the General Secretary of the Women's Wing, I'm not the spokesperson.
So here you are, you're a General Secretary, you're in power, you represent the Congress party.
No, but that's continuing. Isn't advertising continuing?
Then what it means is we need to shut down everybody. We need to shut down this television show, we need to shut down Nagma from speaking about the Congress, we need to shut down everybody from speaking about the BJP, shut down everybody.
When Shah Rukh Khan speaks, or
this is a free country.
When a Nasruddin Shah
I am
speaks,
allowed to make a film, I am allowed to release it. And I'm surprised that being from the industry, and this is the tragedy of our industry, that being from the industry, people don't support it.
No, when people
from our own industry, like her, she's my senior from the industry, doesn't come out and support the fact that a film should be allowed to release.
Well,
we've made soft targets, we've been attacked continuously, and there's a history. I mean, right from the time that you banned Andhi, right from the time you banned Kissa Kursi Ka, you've been going after films. Why? Over 40 years. Why? What's the point?
You know, I want to quote to you some of what
if you're so scared of films,
Bollywood stars have said.
Yes, I would like to cite there are many stars in Bollywood which when spoke against this government or made certain kind of comments like, you know, the society is intolerant and things like that, whether it was Nasruddin Shah, whether it was Amir Khan's wife, whether it was Shah Rukh Khan, whether it was many spoke and they were really ostracized for what they said.
I'm now reaching out to all of those people that you mentioned and say that if you truly believe in tolerance, then why not stand up for free speech? Why not stand up today, use your influence and say, let's release this film?
So one second, let me come to the question that I want to ask on this big Bollywood face-off. Has freedom of expression under the Modi Sarkar gone up, gone down or stayed the same? That's the question that I want to ask both Vivek Oberoi and Nagma. And as Nagma was saying, you know, I want to quote to you what different people said. Karan Johar at the Z Jaipur Literature Festival says, freedom of expression is the biggest joke in today's world. Revealing your mind in today's time can land you in jail. Amir Khan at the Ramnath Goenka Award says, when I chat with Kiran at home, she says, should we move out of India? That's a disastrous and big statement to make. She fears for her child. She fears for the atmosphere around us. Shah Rukh Khan says there is intolerance, there is extreme intolerance, there is growing intolerance. Sharmila Tagore says the last 1 year has been unprecedented. The intolerance that we are experiencing is against our constitution, is against the basic principle of democracy. Dibaka Banerjee says people are being murdered for their beliefs and opinions. Anurag Kashyap says the voice of dissent is being suppressed. For me, any civilization that tries to suppress the voice of the artist is in grave danger.
I'd love Anurag Kashyap to start by supporting my film. Because this is what tolerance is all about. Tolerate my film. Go out there and speak about it.
Do you believe?
And tomorrow, if there is a Padmavat being stopped, whether it's right wing, left wing, or center, I don't belong to any political party.
Padmavat was stopped under his government.
I will also stand up for that film and say that's wrong.
Do you believe intolerance?
Whether it's a My Name is Khan, of course I did. Of course I did. Of course, on record. I've said that no film needs to be banned, and I feel that. I have said it on record because this is my film, so I am the face of saving it.
But Vivek Oberoi, on the larger...
There's no double standards. I've stood up then and I'm saying now, no matter what, right, left or center, whoever opposes it, no matter where the group belongs to, if it's a political party or if it's a fringe group, it needs to stop. It's not my government, it's your government too. You're an Indian citizen.
Well, I would
or declare that you're not a citizen of India.
I stand.
Say that you're not a citizen of India. He's your Prime Minister too and this is your government too.
Yes, well, I would like to be proud of my Prime Minister,
and
but unfortunately I'm not.
You should be because he's instilled pride in millions and billions across the whole world right now.
Because of the fact that Ghar Wapasi is happening, love jihad is happening, lynchings are happening. Were these things happening earlier? Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, look at the kind of budget that they've given. More than 56% is just for advertising. All they've done is advertising. They've not even allocated the money to the states. I mean, look at the reality for things. And just movie. Yes, movie is a very big medium, but why go through the back door? Why not go through the front door and say that this is what we are doing and this is how we are propagating ourselves?
What back door are you talking about?
What happened to accidental Prime Minister? We didn't say anything about it. What happened to the other?
What do you mean you didn't say anything about it?
Movies?
You attacked the movie left, right and centre. They had to go through the rounds to reach.
We let it release and it flopped.
Oh, please, what are you talking about? Let it release. You didn't let it release. How can you have the arrogance to say you let it release? You're just a part of this country. You're like any other citizen in this country. Every one of us has a fundamental right. You are nobody to say we let it release. You're not letting anything release.
No,
this is our country. We fought hard for this democracy.
Really? You did?
You can't. Yes, we did.
It is a Congress and the...
We did. We fought hard for this country. Every single one. Every single one. And we don't define us by a political party.
Excuse me, I
We're all
come
Indians.
from a freedom fighters
So
family.
do I. Both sides.
So let's
mother's
talk
side
about,
and father's side. We fought together.
Really?
Right?
Really?
So don't say we let it release.
Yeah, like
you're not some fiefdom. Please come out of the dictatorship mindset.
What
that
dictatorship?
You're
there are only two dictators in this
family
country.
that runs the whole country.
There are
and this is your
riyasat
that we let it release. This is our grace.
And Amit Shah, and everybody knows about it. What Jay Shah did, how he ran away with the money.
What arrogance is this?
Look at Yadurappa's diaries. What is the EC doing about the Yadurappa diaries? Why isn't it coming up before that?
Stop changing the topic.
Who is deflecting? Talk about real issues. Talk about farmers. Talk about women. Talk about youngsters not getting jobs.
You're deflecting
talk
again.
About unemployment.
You're deflecting again.
Talk about heroism.
You are deflecting again.
You
are deflecting again.
No,
when you say
are deflecting.
With arrogance,
about nationalism.
when you say with arrogance, we let it release. That just shows your high-handedness.
I want to just want to lift the debate to the issue of freedom of expression. Do you believe, Nagma, freedom of expression in the last 5 years has gone up? Is it stayed the same? Has it come down? Nagma.
Look, it's not only me. There are many people in the industry, like I've just named a few, like Nasruddin Shah, like Amir Khan's wife, like Shah Rukh Khan. They are people who are well-respected people in the industry who've really made a big name for themselves. If they have something to say like that, it's not me who said these statements. It's they who have given all these statements. They must have seen something change in the atmosphere for them to have said this, what they have said. So it's not about arrogance. It's about something that the people are feeling. It's about all that, all those people who got those awards, who were returning their awards. It's about the arrogance of Smriti Irani, who wanted to give the award instead of the president. Giving the awards to the people who deserve to be taken. They refuse to take the award. So what is the arrogance the BJP is talking
Vivek
about?
Vivek Oberoi, respond to this from Gulzar to Anurag Kashyap to Sharmila Tagore, Dibakar Banerjee, Karan Johar, Amir Khan.
Many saying... list of about 200 people that are saying that...
Which 200 people? Can we
fighting for democracy.
It's called Artists Unite India, Save Democracy.
Correct.
There are 109 names over here. They're all saying that we need to save democracy.
From the BJP.
How do you respond to that, Vivek Oberoi?
My only response to them is, I'll give them my number. Let them start influencing on social media. Start with my film. Because my film is about saving democracy.
Why now?
Right?
Why before elections? Why not after the elections if he's so confident about his work in films?
Do it. Why didn't you release your film, Nagma, after the election?
Why is it not after elections? Why is it he wanting to release it during elections and influence the mind of people?
Anybody who does anything professionally, anybody, are they ever asked by people, why now?
Yeah, because it is influencing.
How can you? It is my sovereign right to make a film
the people.
The way I want to, release it the way I want to, when I want to, and it is the sovereign right of the viewers to watch it when they want to. How can you intervene in that?
Why is BJP doing this propagation from the back door?
No, but Nagma, this is a point that Vivek Oberoi makes. If Salman Khan can have an Eid release, nobody's telling him don't release on Diwali, release on Eid.
He wants to have an election release.
So he says I would have an election release.
What is wrong?
He's saying what's wrong with that?
Yeah, correct.
How can you ask me that question? And I think that's against the fundamental principle of democracy.
Do you see the pattern that BJP is following? It's talking about nationalism because it's deflecting from the real issues.
What is the real issue?
The real issues is farmers' distress. The real issue is unemployment.
Issue that the real issue the country
you talk about
today
are a lot different. We are proud of our army. Don't deflect.
No, you're not proud of the army. You're talking about cutting them down.
BJP has only been there since for past 5 years. This country is a superpower since so many years.
On India Today, right now in front of me, it's showing right in front of us on that channel right there that the armed forces are concerned about this propaganda statement just before the elections. Just before the elections to please a few. I want to understand all these people who are worried about tolerance. I want to understand what have they done about Kashmiri Pandits. What have they done?
What
have
are
they
you
spoken
talking
about
Kashmiri Pandits?
the same people who asked me for two prime ministers? What have they done about Kashmiri Pandits? Are they the chief minister or the party that represents just Kashmir or the state of Jammu and Kashmir? What have they done about them?
Yeah, really?
What have they done about them? Why have all these voices been quiet for the last decades?
What has he done about it?
Listen,
all he talks
there is
about
intolerance.
Pakistan
Let's do
and,
something.
Nagma is asking what has Prime Minister Modi done about Kashmiri Pandits? How many Kashmiri Pandits have gone back to Kashmir?
I'm saying, are we talking politically or are we talking about the tolerance brigade?
No, she's saying how many Kashmiri Pandits have gone back?
We're talking about the concern,
No,
the atmosphere right
what
now
has
is
he
of
done?
fear.
He can do.
What
He's in a
about those
majority.
people, those influencers, those people that
You raised the issue of Kashmiri
Yes,
Pandits.
exactly.
She's saying how many Kashmiri Pandits have gone back?
That's what I'm asking today.
No one has gone back.
So how will they go back, Rahul, if you remove ASPA, if you stop terrorism, the way it's being cut down right now every day?
No, but there
are shutting down.
But there are states in the northeast where the BJP has removed ASPA in 2015. After coming to power, they've removed ASPA in the northeast.
Look, Rahul, I'll be honest with you.
He doesn't know nothing about politics. He's just talking about his film. He's more concerned about his film. He's not concerned about the people of
let's
the
be
country.
Saying that
respectful.
someone who doesn't know anything about his politics is
Well,
not
you're
concerned
just
about his
talking
country.
about Kashmiri Pandits, but what happened in the
asking you a
past 5 years?
question
Modi has been a majority.
when you're saying
Why
that
hasn't
all
he
these
done
people are
something
concerned
about
about the atmosphere in India and the tolerance
So
and
what
fear
has
and all
Modi
of
done?
that,
Come on, let us tell
I'm
us
asking them
what your
that
hero has done.
if you believe in the fundamental principle and it's not a matter of convenience, that okay, now it's convenient, so I'll
but
say it's intolerance,
Rahul, I've asked
then
a
reach
simple
out right
question.
now and say it.
But I've
all
asked a
those
simple
people who've
question.
taken
Why isn't he
selfies with the
answering it?
Prime
What's your
Minister.
question?
My question is, why hasn't Modi done nothing about it in the past 5 years? He was talking about curtailing terrorism. He was talking about bringing black
But I
money.
think
He was
he
talking
has.
about bringing 15 lakhs. He was talking about giving 2 crore jobs to people. He was talking about getting Lokpal. He was talking about so many things. What has he done?
I am not in a minority, and a lot of people along with me will agree that he's done everything he's committed he did.
Contesting from Wayanad, and suddenly he talks about how many people and what percentage has he got. What has happened to Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas? Aren't we concerned about that? Are we only concerned about your film selfishly? Because
my film selfishly. I'm here on this debate for my film.
Modiism, Bhaktism.
What is selfish about me releasing my film?
What about protecting the rights of the minority in
What
this
is
country?
selfish about me releasing my film? And I want to understand that this great grand party of yours, what is in it for them to shut me down?
A lot.
Why? What is at stake? Are they so scared of
but
the film?
Vivek Oberoi,
Let's be busy right now
Vivek
talking
Oberoi,
about their track record.
just for a moment.
Shouldn't they be out there talking about their track record, about what they want to do?
Far too much of importance
Let's for a moment go back. No,
I'm
one
saying
second.
you are giving far too much importance to
No,
me.
no.
Stop. I don't want this importance from the
It's not
Congress.
about you.
Please, I
It's
beg the
about
Congress. Don't
propagating
give me the
your
importance.
heroism for Modi
Stop
and
trying to give us
not-
importance. Stop trying to
and
attack
not
our
saving
film.
the
It's just a film.
constitution of this country.
Please.
We are to fight to
Vivek
save the
Oberoi,
constitution
I just
of
want to
this
make this
country.
point that
Sure.
at the time of the emergency and right around that time, the films that came out were very strongly anti-government. They were taking on the system. So I want to ask the other question that I want to put on this Bollywood face-off. Are Bollywood filmmakers now going out of the way to curry favor with the Modi Sarkar? At the time of the emergency, just before that, in 1975, you had Gulzar's Andhi, which featured Suchitra Sen and Sanjeev Kumar. Then
Who
you
banned
had,
that?
Correct. Then you had Kissa
No,
Kursi
I'm
Ka.
asking you, who banned it?
There are two separate issues. I'll deal with both.
No, but who banned it?
I'll deal with both those issues. Both are equally important issues.
But it-
Then there was
it was
Kissa
released,
Kursi Ka,
right? So what are
which
you
is
talking
Amrit
about?
Nahata's film
So
in
wow.
1977, which came out.
Come on.
One second. Which showed what was going wrong
Not
during
5
the
years
emergency.
later.
Yeah.
It was
Vivek
released
Oberoi,
5
Vivek
years
Oberoi.
later.
Go check the
One
records.
second.
Go on IMDb and check it.
At that time, filmmakers were taking on the system. Now it seems filmmakers want to join the system and propagate the view of the system.
But
How do you respond to
Rahul,
this?
tell me something, that if somebody has a contrarian view, they're great. But if somebody wants to celebrate the fact that
Well,
this
you're
is
in
the
the
only
government.
country in the world where a chaiwala who's selling tea
Oh,
on a
come on,
small
stop this
station in
chai wala jive,
Vadnagar
yeah.
gets
The
up
chowkidar, he
and
suddenly
reaches
twisted
without
and
money,
says
without
कि
being from a
सारे
Raja
चौकीदार
Maharaja
ऐसे
family,
हैं.
a business house, without having great influence and political backing from a massive political legacy, can reach this status. It's inspirational. I feel when I see this film that anyone can become a prime minister. It's an aspiration to aspire to. A chowkidar can become a prime minister. A pakoda seller can become a prime minister. Nagma can become a prime minister.
In your party, Nagma,
One
you
second,
go
I
on second.
need to
Nagma, in
answer
your
this.
party, you can't become Congress president ever, can you? Because you don't have the Gandhi
course.
surname. Whereas Vivek
Of
Oberoi can
course, we
argue that in the
democratically-
BJP,
we
a
democratically-
chaiwala a chowkidar can become
with
prime
no
minister.
political influence, with
One
no
second.
backing,
Who was Lal Bahadur
with no
Shastri
money
ji?
behind him.
Excuse me, who was Lal Bahadur Shastri ji? There's so many prime ministers who've been in the Congress UPA regime who have not been from the Gandhi family.
Manmohan Singh wasn't from the Gandhi
family. Yes, of course he
Manmohan
wasn't.
Singh
But he wasn't in
from the
charge of the party.
Exactly my
Sonia
point.
Gandhi was in charge of the party.
There you go.
Nagma.
Look, but Sonia Gandhi ji didn't become the prime minister when she had the opportunity. She sacrificed her position for Manmohan Singh to become.
So you didn't become Singh, you became
but
Singh
Amit
maker.
She
Shah,
could have, right?
But Amit
She
Shah
could have.
and Narendra Modi come from very
Humble
simple
background.
families.
Yeah, but why they
and
not?
Vivek
Why are
Oberoi
they
says
not-
that's aspirational.
Why is
And that's
Amit
what the
Shah-
film encapsulates.
Look,
the film
I
talks
need my
about
time to
the
speak.
inspiration
Let her
that
speak.
Be
you
fair
can-
to me.
You are drowning the
film
voice of the
Yeah, you're just
opposition, she
drowning
says.
the
There you
voice
go.
of the opposition.
They're drowning mine.
No.
Let us
One
speak.
second.
One at a
Why
time.
is Amit Shah not an elected president of the party? Why is he being made by Modi? Why is there not free and fair elections in the BJP? Can you answer me that? And we have no problems to Modi being a chaiwala, and we have no
but they are
problems
more
with
democratic
one
than your
second.
party.
Are they really? Everybody
One
says
second,
ये तो Hitler Shahi
no, one
है.
second.
Everybody
After Amit
says
Shah-
ये तो two people decide. There is no democratic right in the party. There's so many BJPs, MPs and MLAs talking about it. Yeah, there is everybody who was openly speaking. Who is Yashwant Sinha? Tell me. Who is Shatrughan Sinha? Tell me.
God.
These people have been in the cabinet with
Listen,
Atal
Shatrughan
Bihari
Sinha is a congressman now.
Vajpayee ji. He is
That's
not
what he
yet
is.
joined the Congress party.
That
He is
Nagma
to
alleges
join
that there is an
because they
atmosphere
have
of
not
fear.
given-
Yeah.
That
they
Modi
have
and
not
Shah
given a
are
platform.
choking and throttling other voices in the BJP.
Well,
Sorry,
excuse me.
I misheard you. Was that
Rahul,
when you
say
said
the
that?
charge-
I haven't completed. I
Did
haven't
you say that the
completed.
आपका तो
Congress is
खत्म ही नहीं होता
throttling
इतना
their
लंबा
voices?
बोलते then you say
because
completely
he
हुआ.
spoke a long time.
Okay.
I didn't even respond to what he
She's
said.
a lady. We should allow her.
Look,
Please.
I am just saying that there is no democratic, structure or anything of that sort in the BJP. First of all, then you see Modi ji. Everybody talks about him, how he tries to be like a Hitler around the entire party.
Who
and
told
everybody-
you that he wants to be Hitler?
Well, he is. Everybody talks
This
about
is
it.
Nagma's imagination.
Everybody-
She's writing a screenplay for
Come
Rahul
on,
now.
everybody knows. Look at the EC. Look at all these the constitutional. Look at the judges who came out and said against the government
I
that
think
how
Nagma is writing a screenplay for the Congress party
Okay,
now.
Vivek Oberoi.
Is it not on the
Contrarian,
channels?
her
Is it
charges,
not for people to see?
contrarian voices in the BJP are
I
being
don't
throttled. Those
even-
who have a different point of view
Rahul,
are being shafted from
I
the
don't
BJP.
Well,
even
it's
want
not only
to
me. It's so many
acknowledge that
actors,
charge.
reputed actors from
I
the
don't
industry
even
were saying that.
acknowledge that charge. I am disappointed with my own industry. I'm disappointed
Why are you
with
disappointed?
icons of my industry that I've loved, respected, admired, worked with. I'm disappointed with seniors of my industry who, instead of standing up for a film, no matter what its political
When we stand up
representation
for the film,
or
we stand up
ideology,
for you not at this
we
time.
need to
Because
stand
this
up
is not a
together.
time to
And
curtail
tomorrow, if there's a
democratic rights
film
of the people.
that is praising the Durga that Indira Gandhi was
You want to
called
change
and
history,
named
you want to
when,
distort
when
facts,
during
you want to
Bangladesh
change
war,
Namkaran
and
of
people
different
turned around and
states
hey Nagma, I didn't talk when you were talking.
Okay,
Come on,
okay,
don't be
fair,
uncool.
fair.
Tomorrow, if somebody makes a film about Indira Gandhi being Durga, the way she handled Bangladesh, and from Gungi Godiya, the transformation to Durga, it's a great story. I'd love to see that film. And if somebody from the BJP, the right, the left, the center, whatever wing, turn around and say, shut the film down, I'll be the first
Arre,
person
but
to
be
say,
proud of your
don't
product, na."
shut it down. I'll
Be
say, don't
proud
shut
of
it
your
down. It's not
product. Why
fair.
go through the back door and make such movies for yourself? Why not be
Come
proud
on,
of the
don't
product
be ridiculous.
and say this is
Now
our
you're doing what
product,
your
we are
party does,
funding it.
throwing allegations without proof. Don't do
What
that.
party?
Come on.
What
Now you're making a.
party is
Now you're
are
making.
you associated
Is
now
there
you're
anything
making-
in your
Haven't you
film
been
that's
very
negative about the
vociferously
Prime
for the
Minister? Do you only
BJP?
deal with
Tell me
positive
something.
aspects?
Tell me something. If you're making a film that's aspirational, okay, forget me. I'm a small filmmaker. It's a small film. PM Narendra Modi as a film is a small film. Let's talk about a film like Gandhi, made by Attenborough, multiple Academy Award-winning film. I'll give you critics of that film also who say, no, it's not an accurate depiction of Gandhi. You've deified the man. You've made this out of him. You made that out of him. You didn't represent this correctly. You didn't represent his mistakes correctly. नुक्स तो निकालेंगे लोग यार. मैंने फिल्म भक्तों के लिए नहीं, देश भक्तों के लिए बनाई है.
Really?
This is a film
Oh, really?
for
That's
every
a joke.
patriot. If Rahul Gandhi sees this film, he'll love it because I'm sure he's a patriot.
You think Rahul
and
Gandhi will
every
love the
patriot
film?
will love this film.
You think Rahul Gandhi will
And
love
Rahul
the film?
Kanwal too.
So why is he not so confident
Because you're a
about
patriot
it
too, like
releasing
me.
after the
And
after
everybody,
the elections?
nobody can tell
Why
me when
is
to
he
release.
being-
Can I tell you
why
when to
is
get
he-
married? Can I
Okay.
tell you when to have a baby? How can you tell me when to release a film?
Yeah, because
Rubbish. I'm in a democracy as free as you are, yaar.
Okay, so go ahead.
And
fight
again, you'll
and
go
get
back to
it
that thing.
released.
Oh, we allowed the film to
Go
release.
ahead
We
and-
allowed it.
go ahead and be a
Tanaशाही है यार,
Modi
ये
bhakt.
allowed क्या है? मतलब
Go
please
ahead
get out of that
and be a
mindset of
Modi
some
bhakt.
kingdom,
Okay,
yaar.
in
You're not
the-
in a kingdom
Go
anymore.
ahead-
This is a new
go
India. It's
ahead
a
and be
democracy.
a Modi
Everybody
bhakt
is accountable.
And do not be for
यहाँ-
the people who are unemployed, the
यहाँ
youth
आपके
of this
बाप का
country.
नाम नहीं, यहाँ आपका काम चलेगा.
कौन
ये
बाप
वो
का नाम?
इंडिया है.
Is it? Tell
ये
me
वो
one
इंडिया
thing.
है.
Tell me
ये
one
वो
thing,
भारत है,
Rahul.
यहाँ आपके बाप का नाम नहीं,
Tell me
आपका
one
काम
thing.
चलेगा, सिर्फ काम.
This is a very filmy line.
हाँ,
Tell me,
तो?
is it a sin
I'm
to
a filmy
belong
person.
to? Yeah, I know.
So
So
are
am
you.
I. So am I.
हाँ.
And I've done more
So be
films
proud
than
of it,
you.
yeah.
So don't
No,
tell
that's
me
why I
that.
said you're my senior.
I'm just telling you one thing, that it is not a sin to belong to a family. Rahul ji is most humble. He doesn't wear 10 lakh ka suit. He doesn't wear. He doesn't do all those kind of things. So don't tell me
Not
that.
even on his Thailand holidays?
Really?
No.
Oh really? Have you really
Just
seen
wondering.
those holidays?
Just
of his?
wondering.
What
Just
are you
wondering.
talking about,
Just
yaar?
wondering.
What are you talking? Everybody saw the suit, right? Everybody saw Modi
Wondering.
written all over it. He's so self-obsessed about himself. वो चाय वाला ठीक है. चाय वाला jibe is not a sin. No, every चाय वाला is very respectable. But if he calls himself a चौकीदार, every
बहुत
चौकीदार
respect
is
से मणिशंकर
accountable.
अय्यर ने चाय वाला
One
कहा
second,
था
I
ना?
haven't finished.
With a
Every
lot of
चौकीदार
disdain and respect.
is accountable for what he does. हमारी चौकीदारी अगर हमारे बिल्डिंग के बाहर कोई चौकीदार गलत करता है तो उसे भी पूछा जाता है. But he tries to go into an election mode and tries to say कि सारे चौकीदारों पर उंगली उठाई. What is he trying to do? He calls himself a चौकीदार and then he doesn't want to be accountable about a Nirav Modi running away, about Mehul Choksi running away, about Vijay Mallya running away, about absconding all these people. He doesn't want to be accountable to anything. What sort of a चौकीदार is he?
Okay, in the end, who's better for Bollywood? Prime Minister Modi or Rahul Gandhi?
I think the progressiveness
Freedom of
that
speech.
this government has shown to help with Bollywood, and the way Bollywood has gone out there, and like how Nagma says, there are a lot of people pointing fingers, there's also a lot of people pointing selfies at
What?
the Prime Minister, right?
What?
Taking pictures with him.
Sure.
And that basically shows that he's very popular in Bollywood. So I
Really,
think that should
people
answer their
can
own
take
question.
selfies being really scared. You know, people
Are
can.
you, I didn't see the camera shaking. Oh my God, हम डरे हुए हैं,
The camera
selfie
don't
ले
have to be shaky.
People went charging
The cameras
towards
don't-
him
I think
for a
Karan Johar
selfie.
was somebody who said
Oh, come
something,
on,
and he was
now,
also
Nagma,
in that
this
selfie
is
in the
like,
picture.
oh my God.
Wasn't he?
This
Who's
is
better
the
for
screenplay of a
Bollywood
bad
in your
film,
view?
Nagma, please.
Of course,
He's
Rahul
saying your
Gandhi.
dialogues are sounding like a screenplay of a bad film.
No, but
yes.
I
वो डर से selfie ले रहे थे.
I
हम
have-
इतने डरते हैं आपसे
I
selfie
have-
लेने,
I
please.
have Karan Johar.
I wish I had my phone right now. I'd
over
be
here.
Who's better
taking
for
a
Bollywood?
selfie with Nagma in fear right now.
It's not the question of who's better for Bollywood. It's the question of who's better for the common man, who's better for the country. And in every aspect, I think Rahul Gandhi is better for the country, because yesterday we released our
For which
manifesto
country?
for our country.
Acha, okay.
For
Just
India.
being clear, just being clear.
And what are you
For which
talking
country?
about? What are you talking? Don't you live here? Don't you know about politics? Isn't
I do,
has
that's
he
why I
not-
asked for which
Has
country.
he not? Has he not?
After what I've heard yesterday, that's why I asked for which country.
What did you hear yesterday? Can I be?
The declaration.
What
It came one day
declaration?
late. It should have come on April 1st.
What declaration? What are you
Okay,
talking
so you've
about?
heard from
It's the
Vivek
manifesto
Oberoi.
which is spoken about a common man for every strata. Something important, and the Nyay scheme that we've spoken about is for the
अरे
common man.
दुनिया को न्याय promise करो, हमारे साथ अन्याय क्यों कर रहे हो? हमारे लिए अन्याय क्यों कर रहे हो? हम पे न्याय करो भैया. सबसे पहले राहुल जी, हम पे न्याय करो.
Look at the
हमारी
farmers.
फिल्म को रिलीज करने
Look
दो.
at the farmers.
I invite Rahul
distress.
Gandhi to come and see the film. I'm sure he will
Arey,
love
it's
PM
not
Narendra
about
Modi,
heroism,
the film.
it's about the common man, and that is what we need to stand for.
Okay, you've heard from Vivek Oberoi, you've heard from Nagma. As always on India Today, I don't tell you what to think. We don't tell you who won. We don't take sides. You've heard from the Congress. You've heard from a BJP supporter who doesn't say he's a Bhakt and says he's a Desh Bhakt. Is he? Is this propaganda? Is this freedom of expression? You decide where you stand. For lighting up this debate with the power of your arguments, Nagma, Vivek Oberoi, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you, Rahul.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us on India Elects. We'll have more for you when we come back on the other side. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.